Welcome back, True Seeker. It is Wednesday, October 30th, 2024, the eve of Halloween, or the anniversary of Martin Luther penning the 95 Theses, or for a lot of Hispanic culture, the eve of the Day of the Dead. And CNN's big story this morning was out of the federal government. The U.S. Supreme Court allowed Virginia to purge suspected non-citizen voter registrations. But the thing is the word the purge. And again, that movie series that came out in 2013 that's now spawned a lot more sequels and even a TV show based on the same thing. And there's another Purge movie coming out sometime expected next year. If you have not been following that Purge movie series, the sequels, they said, have been inspired by Donald Trump in his campaign rhetoric and his polarization of the nation. Again, this has been documented by the creators of the film. We've been covering these headlines since 2016-ish. Maybe it was 2015. Donald Trump and the Purge. And this case that the Supreme Court heard today and went along with was pushed by the Republican Party, which is currently Donald Trump's party. And if you've never seen The Purge before, it's about how the new American founding fathers it's like at the time it was futuristic, now it's the past. Well, it's the past and the future now. But if I do recall, actually, I forget the exact year, but I know it's now in the past. It was around the same time Trump would have taken his first term. It might have been 2017 when the movie came out in 2013. It was somewhere around there. But the idea is this new administration has taken over in the United States called the New Founding Fathers, and they've proposed a new holiday to celebrate their new power over the nation. And what they do for the new holiday is from sundown March 21st, if I'm not mistaken, 7 p.m. perhaps, March 21st until 7 a.m. the next day, March 22nd, it's legal to kill your fellow citizens. And what they say the holiday does is it gets rid of the bad people, essentially. And in the later sequels, you find out how it was really designed to kill poor people because that's where most of the killing goes on. But yeah, it was just like a really messed up movie. And the first one came out in 2013. Let me just pull up the Purge movie series here. And I even forget when they put out the TV show. I know they did a TV show as well. But when this came out, it was just there were so many creepy things going on in 2013, and I was well aware of the idea of predictive programming. I mean, anyone who ever looked into 9/11 probably learned about predictive programming and how many years or decades in advance that date was foretold. But then I thought, wow, now Hollywood is putting out movies about a government that legalizes the killing of citizens, and they have to use the date March 22nd, old 322, the same day the Georgia Guidestones went up in history. This is what I was talking about back in 2013. I was saying that March 22nd day is the day that the Georgia Guidestones went up that talk about reducing the Earth's population to 500 million. And we know 322, very special for all kinds of reasons in history, but it's associated with that powerful secret society that's put people in the Oval Office, Skull and Bones. It goes back to the 322 number goes back to the suppression of the Templars. It goes back to philosophers that Skull and Bones say they get the number from. It has to do with Genesis 322 about knowing good and evil. But yeah, the Purge. And then the sequel was the Purge Anarchy, and then it was the Purge Election Year. And I think that's the one where they came out and said it was inspired by Donald Trump and his campaign rhetoric and the polarization that they saw in the populace from the love-hate relationship that people had with him. But then you got the first Purge and the Forever Purge, and somewhere along the way they put out a TV show based on this as well. I'm not sure if that's still running or if that's over, but I know that a TV show did come out of this. If you've seen the movies, one of the things a lot of the people do who go out on the kill night, if you will, is they dress up in costumes. So just kind of reminiscent of Halloween, right? People are wearing costumes while they're out murdering. So again, I'm just making the point. Here we are, right before the election. Donald Trump's in it again. And again, on the eve of Halloween of all days. So, is there a greater connection here? Yeah. Notice, from Trump's birthday, June 14th, to today is 138 days later. And we've seen this a million times. Donald Trump equals 138 like federal. There's so many rituals with Trump in 138. And don't forget, it's the Jesuits behind all of this. And their birthday is August 15th, the day leaving 138 days left in the year. But Donald Trump, again, 138. If you're new here, the 4 base ciphers of the English language, alphabetic order, reverse alphabetic order, both orders with numerology. Today's date numerology has a life lesson number of 48. For the record, Illuminati equals 48, like Freemason, like how George Washington penned the letter about his concerns about the Illuminati, which was founded by the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt, infiltrating Freemasonry, which goes with modern Freemasonry being a Jesuit creation as well. And again, in the reverse alphabetic order, Donald Trump's 159. The Secret Service is 159 years old. Trump having his issues with the Secret Service this year, including the Secret Service saving his life on the golf course. So the stories said, or the headlines said, on the 15th day of the 9th month. You know, they found the guy who had his shirt up with his... I didn't want to talk about, man. The guy with the colored hair with the man titties out. But that was 15/9. And again, Trump's had about 1,060 rituals leading up to the 60th U.S. presidential election. An actor's name who equals 60 is Frank Grillo. And Frank Grillo supposedly wrote the Purge election year based on Donald Trump. We were covering that back then. So it's interesting how now here we are with the 60th election, and now we're actually getting the terminology, the Purge, from our federal government right before the election. And again, it is Movie Made America. It's funny, I took a class in college and we were made to read this book, Movie Made America. And it wasn't about how, essentially the same people who run Hollywood run the country, which is the case, which, again, the creators of South Park let us know in Team America World Police, which was a lot more than a comedy. Remember, that one starts in Paris, France, where the Jesuits were created as well. But the book was just about how much movies inspire what happens in America, which you could say is also true, but you learn better. You start to realize the same things controlling Hollywood are the same things controlling your nation. And should that be a surprise to anyone when they keep putting actors in elected office, including the chump, who runs on the same satanic slogan as Ronald Reagan, MAGA, the highest degree of the Church of Satan? But yeah, 138 days after his birthday, this headline comes. This ruling from the Supreme Court on 48 date numerology. Again, the 159 fits in with what they've been doing with the Secret Service this year. And the 60 fits in with the upcoming election and him running against 60-year-old Kamala, who started dating Willie Brown when she was in her 20s and he was 60, and yada, yada, yada. But yeah, just to remind you guys of some of the headlines over the years. Trump's proposed 2020 slogan is familiar because it's the exact tagline from the Purge election. Now, I noticed that headline was not done right, and that was from a mainstream article. The movie was actually called The Purge Election Year, but I was looking back at this and I was like, I'm not sure that was an accidental typo. They might have actually meant to emphasize the Purge election because, check this out. The Purge election. I might even just have the screenshot here. I do. I have the screenshot right here. The Purge election, 8478. One of the date numerology past days, 48 as we talked about. Another one is 84. 10 plus 30 plus 20 plus 24 is 84. Of course, in that same cipher, United States of America equals 84. But the Purge election, 8478, just like Jesuit is 84 and 78. Again, Trump's 78 years old right now. The tarot deck has 78 cards. The top cards are Trump cards. Elon Musk who had that ritual being announced the world's richest man for the first time ever, January 7th, 2021. That was the 78th anniversary of the death of Tesla. Now him and Trump are running together, and he keeps saying, "I'm dark mega." It's like they're letting you know they're the villains. They're the villains in the white hats. Some of the Jesuits' biggest puppets that have, legions of people totally fooled and bamboozled. Still remember when Obama was using bamboozled on the campaign trail like he was Denzel Washington portraying Malcolm X. Denzel, Jesuit educated at Fordham. Anyway, the first Purge trolls its biggest inspiration, the Trump administration. That was a headline. Late night slams Trump idea to adapt the Purge. That was from the beginning of this month. Literally proposing the Purge. Trump mocked online after his solution to crime is compared to the horror movie. That was from October 4th of this month. And again, now at the beginning of the month starts with this from the New York Times. Other publications, end of the month ends with the Purge from the Supreme Court. Donald Trump accused of proposing the Purge in real life during wild campaign speech. One really violent day. I mean, it's just maddening, you guys. It's just maddening. It's maddening. The guy who wrote The Purge just happens to be Italian, like the Illuminati, like the Jesuits. And he got inspired. He got inspired when he was studying in France for nearly a decade. Of course, the Jesuits were credited in Paris, France. Now their headquarters is in Italy. He first worked with Francis Ford Coppola. We all know what happened to his wife this year at age 87. If you guys forgot what happened to Francis Ford Coppola's wife, she died at 87, 117 days after the 87-year-old Pope's birthday. I'm sure it was just a coincidence. Had nothing to do with The Godfather. I'm sure it was all above board. But, again, The Godfather 117. Gangster movies. Gangsters running the nation with similar surnames to actual gangsters. Here was the story this morning with a little advertisement from the Cleveland Clinic, the C-Double. A divided Supreme Court on Wednesday allowed Virginia to implement a program that state officials say is aimed at removing suspected non-citizens from its voter registration rolls, siding with Republicans in one of its first significant decisions tied to next week's election. The decision, which came without explanation and over the dissent of the court's 3 liberal justices, will allow the state to continue to remove certain voters it suspects of being non-citizens. Republicans, including former President Donald Trump, framed the effort in Virginia as a common-sense way of ensuring non-citizens don't vote. But the Biden administration, voting rights group, and lower courts said the program also ensnared and potentially disenfranchised an unknown number of citizens. The story is breaking and will be updated. Funny enough, CNN, they might have updated it since then, but they had this as the top story this morning, and then they just removed it from the top story. And this is what their page looks like now. If you missed the news last night, Kamala was saying she wanted unity, and Joe Biden said Trump's supporters are garbage, so that was the big compare-contrast last night. And, of course, it reminds everyone of Hillary's deplorable comments from 2016. History repeats itself. CNN now says Harris has narrow edge in Michigan and Wisconsin. And do you know what they're saying they're tied at in Pennsylvania today? If you look, it's saying they're tied at 48%. There it is. 48%. Can you guys see it? 48% on the 48 date numerology in the state that they're saying is going to decide the election this year. And do I need to remind you about Butler, Pennsylvania, where the hoax happened by the numbers? Who is Butler PA named after? Let's go back to this. General Richard Butler, right? Let's see if we can look up this General Richard Butler guy. Let me see if I got this all right. Hold on, you guys. I got to take a call from Sweet Lady real quick. 1 second. 1 second. All right, stand by. About a 30-second break here. I have to send a message to somebody to help Sweet Lady out with something. Apologies for this. We'll be right back. Okay. Okay. All back. That should be it. And this Richard Butler, who Butler, Pennsylvania, is named after. Do you see that he died at age 48? He died on November 4th, 1791, was born on April Fool's Day in 1743. So we've been talking about this since the hoax happened, and we also pointed out how November 4th, it's interesting because it's reminiscent of JFK, who was shot from 411 Elm Street. And remember, the Trump scare, the total hoax is another word that equals 48, like Donald Trump. Fake news also equals 48. But again, the Trump scare came 45 days after the JFK assassination anniversary. So now, and remember, Kamala was in Philadelphia the day of the Trump shooting in Butler, not far from Pittsburgh. But again, just think about all of these things being a coincidence. And now on the 48 date numerology, the top story is the state that's expected to decide the election, the one they just happened to both be in that day, that they're tied at 48% on the 48 date numerology. Again, this is why people need to learn this knowledge, and this is why people need to stop voting in rigged selections where everything is numerical ritual every single day. Again, to get today's date numerology, the life lesson number, you just add the day and the month whole, 10 plus 30, it's October 30th, 10 plus 30 is 40, and then you add the year digit by digit, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4 is 8 more. So today has a life lesson number of 48. It's 138 days after Trump's birthday, and they want to tell you that Pennsylvania is tied up at 48% all. That is a joke. And by the way, just, this whole Purge movie, you have to fill in some of the dots yourself. Like, how could a nation get so divided and hateful towards one another that on a certain day they would embrace a holiday where they can go out and kill each other, And then you look at, again, how polarizing Donald Trump is. Just like what I explained in the beginning of 2016 before he was even the Republican nominee. I explained he's just like the most polarizing guy there ever was, and that's why they'll make him the president of the United States, because that's what they want. United we stand, divided we fall. They figure out ways as time goes on to divide us more and more. And now here we are in 2024, where they've, one of the top things people are asking about is like, how do you feel about men who identify as women competing in women's sports? And you got like half the country that's like, I think it's fine. It's like, okay. It's crazy, guys. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how powerful mind control is and how they can seemingly make a lot of people just believe and think anything they want them to, including crazy religions. And yesterday, some people were mad about the stream that happened yesterday with the panel. I thought it was good. And I liked it because, again, you had one gentleman come on there. He was polite and he was very outspoken as a Christian. but he was laying out exactly why I think Christianity was given to us by evil people to control us. I mean, you heard everything he was saying. He's like, Zach, in the Bible it says we are bad, we're evil, we're sinners. The world is evil. The world is gonna perish. It's like, yeah, okay. And then he's like saying we can't do anything about it. We can't do anything about it. It's all written in the book. It's like, yeah, isn't that exactly what you'd want to give people if you were tyrants and you were going to destroy the world for your own benefit, make everybody suffer? Wouldn't you want to give them that story so they'd all just accept it and lay down and think they can do nothing about it? I don't know. That's the way I see it. Maybe I'm wrong, but him spilling it out the way he was so confidently, like he's 1,000,000% correct. I mean, I'm thinking, what if him and the millions of other men who think just like him are more like me? And they're all out here trying to make a difference because they think they can make a difference. I think we'd be making a difference. That's what I think. Problem is you got more people that believe in stories given to them by the authorities. And again, that same man should question why these evil tyrants, the Supreme Court, Trump, Kamala, all these people, they all swear in on that Holy Bible as they all make the world more and more evil each day and mock us to the core. And for all the people who say it's Satan doing this every day, okay, maybe these people are ruled by Satan and that's the spirit they embody, but they're still people carrying out evil's will. Okay. And yeah, I mean, I just have so many old posts on the Purge and Trump and just headlines like this. Jared Kushner hired the Purge publicist. I mean, like, what? Like, it's just been mocking us for all this time. They've been mocking us. Just old post right here. How Donald Trump led to a big change in the Purge 3. Frank Grillo. Frank Grillo. Isn't it funny, all these years ago I was documenting how Frank Grillo equals 60, and now here we are at the 60th election, and we got the Purge. The Supreme Court's approving the Purge. And again, I mean, that's it too. Somebody's out there going, well, it's just talking about, the illegal immigrants. Like the article says, though, with the way they're enacting this, they might purge actual citizens too. And imagine that all these things they're trying to forecast and seeming like they're trying to manifest it into fruition, American Civil War, all this stuff that they've been releasing by the numbers, all these little rituals they've been doing, January 6th. We've seen before where after 9/11, where they blamed 9/11 on a boogeyman rather than the people who actually did it, our own government and the tyrants they serve, they blamed it on Islam. And then you saw a lot of Islamic people get killed, not only from the bombs we dropped on their heads, but just people got killed here in the streets of America for being Islamic. They got beat up for being Islamic. My neighbor across the street, their father's an older Mexican guy who came in the country legally, still has a heavy accent. I mean, in a world where everyone's just like super mad at Mexicans, does he get beat up as an old man because he still has his authentic Mexican accent? You know what I mean? And he's a really nice guy too. So Donald Trump's the proud pussy grabber who just goes after women even if he knows they're married if he likes them, but then blames Mexicans for doing the raping, right? It's like, well, if you just go up and grab women by the pussy, I mean, we're getting to a point where it's we're getting close to a rape right there alone. So, and then you got Kamala who slept her way to the top. It's just, the whole thing is gross. You got the proud pussy grabber versus, the cocksucker in chief, I guess. She can suck a mean one. Who you want to vote for in 2024? Yeah, and by the way, I want to play this clip right here too. I want to play this clip. We got Brian who's always taking shots at my work and then's like, I don't even talk about the guy. I don't know why he's so obsessed with me. Always for years now, just taking shots at my work, making fun of it, slandering my name. Somebody passed this on to me that last night in his live stream, he was doing it again. He just put up a video calling us a Gematria cult, saying I'm in love with him. No, I just want you to engage with your audience on the level that we engage with the people of the world, giving them better information to see how the two-party system really is a lie and how corrupt the federal government is. He never covers these types of things. He just watches CNN and then debunks what they said on CNN. It's like, yeah, that's great, but that's not enough. Trust me, Brian, I've been at this way longer than you have. I've been speaking out since 2001. That's what caused me to go to the lengths I've gone to figure out what's going on in the world. Like, how much do you have to prove before you can finally get people out of the spell they're under? And I'm not going to rewind. I heard him talking about spells and spelling in this same stream when I was trying to catch at the spot. It was near the end of this. So maybe it was 10, 15 minutes earlier he talked about spells and spelling. But here's Brian last night talking about McDonald's, and just listen to him. Listen to him.
So today it's like 3.5, almost 4 times more obesity. What do you attribute that to? What year did McDonald's come online? Was it in the 1950s? McDonald's opened in Des Plaines, Illinois on April 15th, 1955. Take that one, you Gematria people. What does that mean? McDonald's, come on, dude, there's got to be some kind of Gematria formula. McDonald's opens in Des Plaines, Illinois, so there's probably a Gematria thing for that. April 15th, 1955. And around that time, 5 years later, only 13% of Americans were obese. And I'm not.
Okay. So anyway, Rick James let me know about this last night. And Rick James said he went on there because he took calls after this. And I did watch to the end of this. He didn't let Rick James come on and give it an answer. But I bet Rick James would have dropped some facts because he's seen what we've been presented about McDonald's. But Brian says, what's April 15th got to do with it? Right here. April 15th is the 105th day of the year. Here, just to make a point, explain how they do these things to you and how connected they all are. Let me pull up our friend, the Black Eagle. Remind you what they did to him on Jackie Robinson Day, because, of course, not Black Eagles. Jackie Robinson Day is typically April 15th, and we'll bring it all together here. But remember, Joe Madison, the Black Eagle, he was big in, he's Urban View. He's the flagship show for Urban View on Sirius XM. Speaks to Black Americans about political issues. But anyway, he died on Jackie Robinson's birthday, right? And it would have been Jackie Robinson's 105th birthday. And Joe Madison is 105, right? Joe Madison, 105. That's the Black Eagle. And Joe Madison, the small way, is also 42, like Jackie wore 42. And, of course, in this year's MLB postseason, when the World Series began, home teams were 19-19. Followed that all the way through, dominated the postseason, just showing how rigged it was the whole way through. But 19-19, like Jackie Robinson's birth year. And the Dodgers were the last team to advance to set the World Series versus the Yankees, getting their 105th win of the season, winning 10-5, while the Yankees sat on 101 wins with a prayer of winning 4 to get to 105. But all these Jackie Robinson tributes, number 42. Remember, Game 1 of the World Series, the Yankees fell to 4-2 away in the postseason and got their 181st postseason loss, the 42nd prime number. And Game 2, I think in Game 2, the Dodgers became 4-2 at home in the postseason. In Game 3, the Dodgers became 4-2 away in the postseason. That is what it was. They became 4-2 away. And Mookie Betts also picked up his 42nd postseason win in that game. Last night was the 42nd game of the postseason, and the Yankees improved to 4-2 at home in the postseason. So they've literally paid tribute to 42 in every single game of the World Series that's been all synced up with Jackie Robinson. And his question was about McDonald's, but I just wanted to come back again to April 15th, which is typically Jackie Robinson Day, the 105th day of the year, and how these things matter beyond just McDonald's, but just to show you there is a greater significance to this number. But Masonry, again, is 105, and we're in the 105th NFL season right now. And the night the Dodgers advanced, Russell Wilson, the former baseball player who was drafted into Major League Baseball, who won his first game with the Steelers over the other New York team. Notice he beat the 2 New York teams in primetime in his first team with the Jesuit-run Steelers. If you saw his interview after Sunday Night Football, which again was the 105th game of the 105th season, at the same time the Dodgers won 10-5 to advance to the World Series, getting their 105th win of the year, Russell Wilson didn't even talk about the football game. He started talking about the World Series in baseball, all part of the script. Anyhow, Masonry is 105, and M is the first letter in Masonry, and every alphabet that has an M, the word Mason begins with that, and every alphabet of the world that has an M, In English, it's the 13th letter, M. Modern Freemasonry, the Illuminati, founded with 13 families, they targeted Freemasonry for infiltration. George Washington has a letter about this in the National Archive. But notice, Order of Illuminati is 105. And do you see the 201 as well? The 201, just like the Jesuit Order is 201. Again, the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt founded the Order of Illuminati, died 201 days after the anniversary of its establishment on the 322nd day of the year, which is that number modeled by Yale Skull and Bones that's modeled after the Bavarian Illuminati, which is where Adam Weishaupt founded the thing. But the 201 fits in here as well because McDonald's was founded on the 15th day of the 4th month. You can write that date 15/4. And keep in mind, old school baseball, there was a 154-game season. American baseball is credited to Abner Doubleday, who was a Freemason, Scottish Rite, just like the Scottish Rite rites were written by Jesuit priests. But I just want you to see this about the number 201. It has a mathematical relationship with 154. It's the 154th composite number, right? 154 and 201, mathematical relationship. Take the first Jesuit Pope, Jorge Mario Bergoglio. That's Pope Francis. 201, his birthday is Saturnalia, 154. And Saturnalia, they used to make sacrifices to Saturn. Whoops, I didn't mean to write sacrifice to Saturn. Sacrifice to Saturn is 201. Saturnian order is 201. Sacrifice to Saturn, Saturnian order. I'm forget. There's another 201 phrase with Saturn that's just escaping my mind right now. But I want to bring this back to McDonald's because the founder, the movie about McDonald's and Ray Kroc, that movie came out on January 20th, 2017, the day Trump took office. Where's the release date? Hold on. There. Came out in the United States January 20th, 2017. Again, 201st day of the nation's age is January 20th. Inauguration of the President of the United States, 201. The Jesuit Order, 201. Again, the Jesuits set up camp in D.C. Trump's Jesuit educated. After Trump just did the ritual with French fries, again, the Jesuits created in France on Kamala's 60th birthday, you had the E. coli outbreak news story come, and if you read the actual story, it said the outbreak was from September 27th to October 11th. But September 27th is the day in history the Jesuits are recognized by the Roman Catholic Church, and who is credited with discovering E. coli? Who is that person? Theodore Escherich, however you say his name. Where did he go to school? Where did he go to school? Do you see it? Jesuit educated. And again, you look into the Jesuits, you'll see they're all over the medical world. And again, Skull and Bones is also all over the medical world, and they get their symbolism from the Templars and the Illuminati, and the Illuminati is founded by a Jesuit, the Templar cross in the middle of the Jesuit Order's logo. So Brian continues to sit here and make little comments like this, but then never really wants an answer, because anytime we make a video for him, he doesn't follow up on it or say anything back, but then he'll do another video like, oh, I bet there's some Gematria thing to that too. It's like, dude, I mean, you're a troll. You're a troll. And then you try to demean my character. I'm somebody that puts real information in the world that actually connects dots and leads people to real conclusions. Brian will never accuse anyone of anything other than Zionist bankers. What's older, Zionism or banking? Interesting. Did the Zionist nation of Israel, did it even exist when the Federal Reserve was created in a Jesuit ritual, right before the World Wars broke out in a Jesuit ritual? And those same Jesuit numbers brought about the Jesuit state of Israel, which state of Israel's 201. And again, in the movie, the founder about McDonald's, again, you got that line in the movie where Ray Kroc meets the Jewish Catholic Bible salesman who helps him put it all together and make McDonald's what it is. And again, the Jesuits were a Catholic-Jewish alliance. But, yeah, anyway. Just about movies and the government and how all of these things are connected, and fast food chains and mega corporations. I mean, the United States of America is a corporation. Jesuit order equals corporation equals the United States of America equals 144. Like the Jesuit suppression ended 144 days after James Madison's birthday. the only president with a 201 name, the father of the Constitution. And again, just like George W. Bush told you, the Constitution's only a piece of paper. It doesn't really mean anything. And we should all know that's true, because none of us have ever been free. And from the time that's existed, only a small group of people have had power and freedom, and they're the same ones that run the nation to this day. They use words to control people. They use printed pages to control people, whether it's the Bible, the Constitution. Again, everyone should see that all of these things are nothing but, it might as well all be mysticism, including the Constitution. It's a nice thing to believe in, but it's never really existed. Here, I wanted to make this point, too, about the Yankees game last night. So, as we've been talking about, the Dodgers beat the Yankees in 63 and 81 in the World Series. In 63 and in 81, what happened to presidents? They were shot. One died, the other didn't. Well, at least so we're told. You know, we're told that JFK died at Parkland Hospital in the 214 area code, and that goes with the Parkland shooting hoax on 214. Back when Trump was in office. But JFK was shot from 411 Elm Street. And if you guys don't know, the Christmas episode of, what's Barney Fife's show? The Andy Griffith Show. The Christmas episode of the Andy Griffith Show, a bootlegging family gets busted at 411 Elm Street. That was in 1961. So that was at the end of JFK's first year in office. 1961, Andy Griffith Show, bootlegging family. The Kennedys were a bootlegging family. Again, busted at 411 Elm Street. And then JFK, when he got shot, and it's blamed on Oswald, they said he shot him from 411 Elm Street, right? Nightmare on Elm Street. This ritual with the Dodgers and the Yankees comes right before Halloween. But again, this was on the day leaving 63 days left in the year. October 29th is the day leaving 63 days left in the year. In 63, JFK shot from 411 Elm Street. In the Purge series, there are assassinations of political figures. And if you haven't seen the Purge movie series, that's the only thing that you're not allowed to do. I forget what they give a classification to government people. I forget what they call them, like level 5 people or something. On Purge night, you're allowed to kill everybody except for people that have level 5 status or whatever it is, which is government officials. So yeah, the government creates a night where you can kill everybody but them. But then that's kind of one of the storylines, how some people see through it and they're like, oh yeah, well, we're going to take out the politicians instead because we see through this sick thing. But again, scripted sports, scripted news, scripted entertainment, all by a cabal that's keeping everybody in their lanes, keeping them in their political parties, keeping them where they don't care. They only care about entertainment and materialism. And every day they've structured the world in this ritualistic fashion with these perfect scripts, paying tribute to exactly what they're doing and history going forwards. And again, we were looking at this Richard Butler, which Butler PA is named after. Again, the Trump scare in Butler PA, named after this man, was synced up with Kennedy's birthday, 45 days after his birthday anniversary. Under the 13 stripes on the 13th. 13 weeks from the anniversary of Lincoln being shot and the Secret Service being created. But that November 4th date, again, it is like 411. It is like 411 Elm Street. And realize, just like all these things at the same time, CNN saying that they're tied in a dead heat at 48%. You remember how Butler... For the Butler in the MLB hit 3 home runs the day after the Butler shooting career game. Hold on, let me go back to July 13th. I want you to see all the games they had going too, and just what a big joke it all was. Hold up, July 13th. Tigers beat the Dodgers that day, 11-9. Pirates beat the White Sox 6-2. Pirates got their 47th win and stayed on 48 losses. Trump 47, Donald Trump 48. Yesterday all those headlines were showing how in states one person was up 48%, the other was down 47 and vice versa. Yesterday had the 47 date numerology. Pirates won the next game, too, to get to 48 and 48. And then they had a big old 48 ritual at the All-Star break was right after this. And the Pirates' young phenom was the pitcher 48 days after his birthday. And they paid tribute to Boston. It was one on the bat of a Boston Red Sox. And who was the mayor in Boston once upon a time? JFK. Remember how this year's NBA Finals was Boston over Dallas? And a huge ritual paying tribute to the JFK assassination? Again, scripted sports. Same thing in the NBA Finals. Now they're paying tribute to it in the World Series. But, here, where's that Butler guy? Lawrence Butler hits 3 of Athletics, 8 homers, and 18-3 rout of Phillies. Again, it's just comical, you guys. Where are the Athletics originally from? They're from Philadelphia, just like the Warriors are originally from Philly. That big connection with the Bay Area and Philly. The Liberty Bell spent some time in the Bay Area. But Kamala was in Philly at this time, right? Kamala's in Philly. Trump's outside of Pittsburgh and Butler. Now they're saying, just like in 2000, they were saying the whole election was going to come down to Florida. Now they're saying the whole election is going to come down to Pennsylvania. I mean, come on. Did I even cover this headline right here? How Brat Energy fueled Kamala Harris and caught Team Trump off guard. Brat Energy. That's where we are in 2024. People are voting based on Brat Energy. You know, it makes me think the rapper Debrat better look out. I just remember that was a rapper in the 90s. She better look out, Debrat. Be careful if anybody comes around you haven't talked to in a while. Watch your drink. But yeah, just again about Trump or Brian here about, they're talking about McDonald's. Yeah, your audience should know about it at this point too. It's a damn shame they don't. Again, Golden Arches 60, French fries 60, Donald Trump 60. Where was Donald Trump on Kamala's 60th birthday? Serving French fries near Philly in Bucks County, and not Bucks County arbitrarily, before he went to the Steelers game in Pittsburgh on the same night where we guaranteed you number 99, Big Mac McDonald, was going to have a sack, and he sure did. That was number 99, 99 days after the Butler hoax on Sunday Night Football, where we thought the other 99 on the Steelers would probably get a sack too, and he also did. And do you remember that they won with 37 points that night, the Steelers? Bucks County equals 37. When Ray Kroc died, Trump was 37 years old. Bucks County, 37. That's the McDonald's he was at. Harris is 37. Ray Kroc is 37. Again, when Trump was 37, Ray Kroc died at 81, like President Trump's 81. President Biden's also 81. And he supposedly beat Trump in 2020 with 81 million votes. And then he passed the torch to Kamala, who raised a record 81 million in 24 hours. And it's a big ritual number. And it has to do with why Obama endorsed 81 candidates on 8-1 back in 2018, a little before Biden announced he'd be running for 2020. But yeah, again, I mean, if people had better knowledge, they would see through all of the mockery. They'd see through the fake numbers every day. Brian wants to tell his audience that, yeah, I don't really, the Gematria, I don't know, I don't really think it proves anything, and I think it's kind of wishy-washy, and I mean, like, what if you speak Swahili, then what's English have to, and it's just like, dude, bring me on instead of keep making videos and comments like that, and let's have a conversation, and let's see who looks like the moron. We both know the answer to that, and that's the real reason you keep mocking it rather than have me on to talk about it. So Brian's what they call a gatekeeper. He wants people to just see that CNN, what they don't put out each day, it's not truthful. Okay. Talk about keeping people in preschool. And they'll go, oh, see, he doesn't even like me. Yeah, I want to get rid of all the shills like you. I do. I want to see the world change, not shills grift off pretending like they care about what's going on in the world so they can sell another t-shirt. You know, if somebody was talking shit about me, I'd bring them on my platform and defend myself and win the argument. You won't because you know you'll lose, loser. And literally all the losers who can't discern. If you can't discern who's the real one and who's not, it's because you're a loser. Period. Point blank, period. That's the problem. A lot of losers that just can't swallow the pill. Brian's mocking everything true. He's mocking this knowledge. He's mocking that the Jesuits are controlled. He wants to blame it on Zionist bankers. Does he not realize these agendas started way before Zionism was even a thing? Zionists didn't give us the calendar. They didn't give us the banking system. But those puppet Rothschilds that are clearly controlled by the Jesuits, just like the one on the Balfour Declaration who died 201 days from his birthday, you can start to see who's controlling the puppet strings on even people like them. If you just learn the code and learn the repetitive patterns. Yeah, exactly. And you got, I mean, look at all the trolls that make videos about me that also won't come on and debate. The one guy who has the most dedicated channel, we did end up on a stream together one time on another person's platform, and he got absolutely smoked and embarrassed, and he looked like a total dumbass, and he actually looked like he was a supporter of mine the way he could. He actually answered the questions truthfully, and it just made him look worse and worse and worse and worse, and then what happened? Hours later, that stream was taken down. Their plan backfired, and that's why you'll never see that guy ever try to debate again. So, anyway. Yeah, that's exactly. See, King Richard knows what's up. That's exactly what it was. And look who Allie was. Allie was somebody that... See, Allie was trying to get in my pants, and I guarantee you, had I slept with Allie, I guarantee that would have been out all over the internet, and I'm not going to do that. I'm loyal to Sweet Lady, but it's obvious what that whole operation was about. Send out the little cute girl, have her flirt, have her try to start a romantic relationship, and I was just nothing but a gentleman to her. I say, hey, listen, I'm not trying to insult you, but I'm happy with Sweet Lady, and there's plenty of younger guys out there just for you. But see, that's how this whole troll network of operatives is. I noticed there's a guy over on the troll channel in every comment section that's blowing me away. I'm like, what in the world? I promoted that guy for years. What's he over there doing now? He was another operative this whole time. It's crazy. So many operatives around here. So... Yeah, her decodes were bad, but I always wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt because it would be nice to have, a lady in the community. Well, we do have some good women in the community, but just more women in the community. And I was hoping she was going to get better with the decoding, but we saw what that was really all about in time. So. Is he? He's a registered Republican too, poor guy. He's one of those log cabin Republicans. Then those are the gay Republicans. That's funny. Travis, the log cabin Republican. Funny. All right, guys. I got to get back to work though. We'll leave it there for now. Brian, why keep making fun of Gematria if you don't want to debate about it? I mean, if you think you got the upper hand on this and you can just like put it to bed with your little arguments, why not bring it on? Why not bring it on? So, do you guys want to hear from 608 Smith? He says, "Stop hiding. Nobody's hiding from you. We've given you like 5,000 opportunities to come on, and you just give everybody a headache." All right, I do have to get back to work, but hold on. I'll give you 10 minutes, 608 Smith. 608, if you guys forgot who this is, you're going to recognize once you hear the voice. You'll be like, oh yeah, I remember this guy. He makes my head hurt. He's another guy that has found companionship with all the ops around here, but we'll bring him back on one more time. Hold on, you guys. The link was dropped, so he must be getting his talking points ready. See, I mean, the thing about this is, though, I'm just doing this to remind people. If anybody wants to step up to the plate to try to say something, you can. But I already guarantee you, this is just going to make your head hurt. And he's probably just going to be doing whack decodes like always, rather than anything else. So you're writing, I'll expose you again. Well, why aren't you on here? It only takes a second to join the room. You just click on the link and you're pretty much in here. Why are we still commenting in the chat, I'll expose you? Time's a ticking here. Time's a ticking. All right, he's using a different name. Unless this is somebody else. He's never come on under this name before. This could be somebody else. Dedrick Alford. Oh, hold up. I got to change the audio settings. 1 second. Okay, Dedrick Alford, you are on. I think, well, they came on and they left. And now, as soon as they left, somebody else comes in named Robert Ledford, which is like a similar name. Well, just Brian, I'm sure he's out there watching right now, so I'm just trying to show Brian how it's done. When your haters come at you, give them a chance. Give them a chance. By the way, you guys, now that my mom's here, I do got to call my mom out. My mom, see, I don't want to give her a hard time, but I do. My mom thought I should leave Sweet Lady for Allie. Oh man, Mom, see, just you should recognize that your son has a lot better discernment. It makes a lot better decisions in his life than you do. Imagine had I left Sweet Lady for Allie, how bad of a decision that would have made. Ooh, man, would have left for some kind of troll operative. I'd probably be in the obituaries. So, Sweet Lady is a total winner of a woman, and almost any other mother would be grateful if their son had somebody like Sweet Lady. But my mom, she was never the best at picking people out. So it's one of you guys like, okay, it is your mom, but you got to recognize your mom's flaws. All right, you're not even coming in here. Oh, Mom, you gotta stop. You gotta stop. You were there and met her in person. She's the one who came out to Seattle. Come on now. My mom. My mom is the definition of zero accountability. Come on now. See, this kind of question right here, Ghost 666. I mean, just the name in itself just kind of just shows me what's wrong with this person. The point of the work is to reach people. Brian was allowed to reach a lot of people at one point when he had 500,000 subs and he was making fun of my work back then, and he was collaborating with Shields. The point of the work is to reach people to change the world. I can't do that myself, especially when my channel's been deleted 20 some times and I'm super suppressed in the algorithm. I mean, if you have to ask this question, you're either a moron yourself or an idiot. And I realize those are like two of the exact same thing. So which one is it? Are you a moron or an idiot? I mean, it's only one or the other. So, it just like people are so stupid. Everybody should be sharing the work we're doing. It's the best work on the internet. And nobody has a real argument to come against that either. It's the best work on the internet, far and above. Seventh Denim, this comment right here just shows kind of like what a little stupid loser you are too. You're one of the swine that came into my community. I'm not beefing. I'm just stating facts. You guys get hurt. All you guys who were raised with no daddies and like your grandmas way too much. Notice how most of your community is like, I'm going to go out and vote for a woman. And I'm not trying to be racist. I'm just talking about facts. There's a reason they've destroyed your community and made it so feminized, and you guys listen to troll music that sets you up for a bad future. Your comment speaks to the whole thing. My mom is like a lot of people's moms. in the age of the woman rebellion. They think they know it all, and they're so confident about everything, and they put out a lot of bad advice. My mom was in my ear 1,000 times about leaving Sweet Lady for Allie, which is just insane. So, no, I am going to call her out. And again, it speaks to people who might have a mom that also tries to push them constantly to do things they might regret. Okay? Okay, Seventh Denim, smoke a blunt. I mean, just stupid comment. Stupid comment. How about get a brain, Seventh Denim? How about make me not regret about casting pearls before so many swine like yourself? Yeah, trust me, I know I'm speaking facts, and I don't care if anybody perceives it as racist, because it's not. It's just like when I was in Buffalo, you had all these feminized men coming out saying, this isn't what we need right now. It's a food desert out here. Just regurgitating exactly what was in the headlines. Oh, you don't need the truth right now? You don't need the truth right now. An old grandma who told me I need to shut up because I wasn't the right color skin and all they needed right now was Jesus. Oh, you need a mystical character. Oh, yeah, that's helping the situation, isn't it? Look at all the black communities that are so invested in Jesus. Oh, yeah, it's really helping. It's really making a positive impact. So, again, trust me, I know what the score is and I know what the problems are. And I do understand that this racist system has destroyed the black community and made it so a lot of men are raised by women and they become very effeminate because of it. It's also a part of the reason that black men are more gay. Go to the Castro or Capitol Hill in Seattle and you'll see over half the men there are black men, even though they're a small percentage of the population. And again, this isn't about racism. It's about what's been done to destroy a society. And your comment just emphasized it. You get mad about facts. That triggers you for some reason. Smoke a blunt. No. I'm going to remind that some people's moms, they mean well, but they don't always do well with their advice and recommendations. Again, just imagine had I taken my mom's advice and left Sweet Lady, a good one, for a troll operative who probably would put poison in my drink. That was my mom's advice. Okay? So. All right, anyway, I need to get back to work. And see, this is, I mean, really, this is the problem too when you just start engaging with trolls in the first place. Just, it just brings about problems. But again, hard things do need to be said. And that's the thing too. People can't handle the truth. People can't handle the truth. Okay? This is a truth channel. I speak facts. I speak truth. I don't ever mean to mislead or misrepresent. And again, the truth can be a hard pill to swallow, but it needs to be swallowed. And people need to take a look in the mirror and recognize. Okay? Again, you saw a lot of the problems when I was out in Buffalo. But you also saw how we could heal those problems. We had Hebrew Israelites and people around them threatening to kill us. But then after about 30 minutes of just breaking through with knowledge and facts, we were able to become friends. So, again, knowledge and truth can heal if people can take the time to listen and swallow the pill. All right, we'll leave it there for now. And yeah, again, thank you for that observation too. Just another sports retirement by the numbers. Rudy Gay. Until next time, True Seeker.